Hi guys, it's been a while. I just thought, as I've seen a couple of Russian YouTubers and obviously Lewis, and I'm sure others have made videos about it as well. I talk about the newest changes coming to Greta with the durability nerf, the grip nerf, and the 5 kilometer speed nerf. I think there's also inertia or something more as well, but I can't remember. And I don't know if I think it's a good thing or not. The only thing I think is good about it is that it will bring a certain thing back to the game. I saw Lewis put his video out about a Mastodon Big Ram Spider, and this build here that you can see now is a slightly modified carpet version of a build on PC that guy could use a LOL was using, which is a Helicon Spider. You're looking at this going, why is it there? It's just armor. It's not for anything else. Ignore the tonnage doesn't help me, and the mass is the only good thing on that fuse. But yeah, this sort of build it could be the next sort of thing. I don't know if it will be the Helicons that will be the meta. I doubt it, to be honest. I think it will be a version of this with Mastodons, so a mixture of greeders and big rams, because you can still get 6.5k Dura out of it. You still have the same whatever good build, it's good armor, massive HP of course, plus the cohort perk, cloak, Odin, all that. And I was really interested because seeing these sort of massive builds come to the game that we haven't seen in, I would say, kind of a while, where the big rams might actually get a place in the meta because for so long they've been neglected, and maybe now they might come back. We'll see. But yeah, it's super good. I'm super excited. I'm sure you guys that watch everyone's top streaming and everything, I'm sure you're just as excited as I am. To be honest, the greeders are fucking OP. While I was in peak and we got a couple of weeks of rank 1, I was using them. Bows are obviously in their last couple of weeks to rank 1, and obviously before I came back to the game, they're all their rank 1s as well. I'm assuming they were using greeders because they are just the best movement part. Super strong, super fast, great maneuverability. The big rams don't have that same feeling. I feel like hovers might have a good edge against these builds because I think on the big rams you can only go 55, and actually the turning isn't bad. It's just not. I don't think is as good as the big rams. It does feel a lot slower going left and right. So maybe we might see more hover builds coming back to the game solely because of that reason. I think the only issue with the big rams as well is that they are quite massive, and so scorpions and things like that shoot legs a lot of time might get an easier time to shoot them off. Whereas the greeders have a lot smaller hitbox, but obviously will be 410 Dura into the 450. And also the tonnage, yeah, the tonnage issues. We will see. I mean, I hope this new relic engine or whatever it was will make up for that loss. But I think we'll start to see more of these sort of builds in top 10, top 5, top 1 or 2. I saw that last weekend, I didn't know this until literally this morning, that Rush actually got rank 1 using the Firebug Days builds, which I remember telling quite a few people when it came out that this is something you can now do with the Odin. And then the Rush guys also worked it out, and they made this really evil team, which is pretty strong. With I think a Punisher, 2 Firebug Days, and Firebug Doppler, I assume, or something like that. I can't remember. Well, maybe it's just 4 Firebug, which 2 or 3 days is in it. I can't remember, but something along those lines. Rush understand that the meta is kind of going towards Firebugs and Daisies that way, and actually the spiders, as much as they look massive and they look huge, they're actually not that great against the Firebug Days because obviously it's 9 seconds of not being able to shoot, which for a Firebug is like, well, you're dead, And I think the Firebug change coming up won't affect that. I don't think the damage change for the Blight, simply because the Firebug damage will be more anyways when the Blight is not active. So if anything, I think though it's an adjustment, I think it is a buff generally to Firebugs. Even though maybe it's not perceived as much. It's only 300 meters to get the perk now as well. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's 300 from 500. I think there's a lot in Firebugs these days that we'll see a lot more of. But maybe for spiders, you'll see these sort of massive mix of greeders and big rams, and maybe some armor tracks for armor. I thought about Goliath because Goliath post change. The thing about the Goliath is these builds they go 55 walking, right? Well, I believe post change the Goliath will be 60. So actually, on these sort of builds, you could easily put a Goliath there as armor. Which actually I think will be quite meta. I think we'll see a lot of, for instance, next patch, just a big fat. I can't put it on now because of my placement of things. Give me 1 second. But ignore the building style of what I'm about to do because I know it's bad and it's ugly and I haven't thought about it. But just imagine you see a spider sort of like this walking at you. I mean, this is terrifying, right? Uh, because you could have two of them. In fact, you could have one here, maybe one block in. Actually, one more block in. So you could do it like this. I think it still doesn't clip. Maybe. Oh, no, it still doesn't clip. Yeah. So you do one like this on this side, and then on the other side, perhaps you move some of these legs around. Maybe you take off this, move that back. You know, do loads of magic with it, and then you end up getting a second Goliath. Perhaps on the other side, you end up having one of these sort of just giant fuck off builds. I mean, something like this, yeah, it looks bad, but I mean, if I put them together with some armor in the middle, that's going to be really hard to hit the cabins of these big new spider builds. And I think these sort of massive builds that right now look like shit, but in future, if I just take off some armor just to get the weight back. Okay, so as an example, this now will become something strong because big rams will be back. Therefore, the Goliath spider builds with a massive amount of Dura will be back. You might see Mastos with Mastodons between the Goliaths. You can have this around the cabins, so things can't just hit you with a cab all the time. You might see a completely different style of meta, and I'm not really sure where it will go, but I think somewhere along these sort of lines where going 55 as it will be, or going 60 perhaps, next patch will make these sort of massive spiders come back. And then, yeah, the firebug days will have a lot more to chew through at the front rather than just at the moment, which is, if I talk about like my Helios spider I've been using, this guy is built for not getting hit in the cab with the help of a guy everyone knows, Kakaman. We built this massive sort of spider Helios, which is really strong. But it has a freight train, all this stuff at the front to block cannon shots. But actually, versus firebug days, it's kind of useless. Whereas something like a Goliath, where it's going to take a lot more to chew through. You could get, a Colossus on that Goliath build. You could have these buffed by 20%, so you'd be on another, 1900 Jura on those things. I think that would give you a better chance of fighting the Firebug Dazers, and this is a general statement for everyone that will be fighting Firebug Dazers to come. This might be the way to combat them, as well as running a daze yourself. For a while, I was working on this other build, which was Helios Daze Spider. It's 4k Jura. The idea is that when you have a firebug on you or something, you walk up to them, you press that daze button, and there's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3 seconds they can't shoot. By that point, they've lost 3k Jura, and then it makes it really hard. You've got the Nova as well, and this is a build I'm going to be testing more and more often against sort of dog teams and actually more Helios spider teams, because everyone runs these big fucking these sort of Helios spiders, and actually to counter them, it might be something like this, or maybe something else that would be something right for it. But there will be different variations on the days builds. There will be, I'm sure people will find something different, maybe breaker days, maybe a different type of firebug days with a flash, or I don't know. You've got loads of options to go for. But at the moment, triple firebug days are super strong, Helios spiders are super strong, and the meta is sort of just spiders. So hopefully this change will bring back these slower, bigger spiders that, they're not amazing, they're not whatever. They work, they're big, got a lot of Jura. It's just, again, I think versus firebug days they kind of suck. Versus other spiders, this is a lot better, obviously, because they tank a lot more. But yeah, I just want to give an update on the game, sort of where I am. I'm actually in a clan called Sniff. Left peak a week or two ago, so I'm just chilling in my top 11 sort of clan, top 15 clan. Yeah, it's very nice, very easy, a lot of fun, and yeah, I look forward to the changes, and I'm sure you will do too. But yeah, just wanted to say hello. I haven't really talked much to anyone in a while since I've come back, so yeah, I'm back. I'm just not in a top clan for now. Maybe in future I come back to a top clan. We'll see. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see these mix of big rams and gorillas, because the one good thing about Greeders, they have really small hitbox. These things will just get shot off very quickly without Colossus. I mean, I think a lot of the builds will start to run, instead of Pegasus, just the Colossus, or just a billion more legs, because I really find that these sort of builds are great, but they lose legs quite quickly. And also get over tonnage quickly, which they will do next patch. But yeah. So, have a good day, guys. Just thought I'd say hello. And these are some of the builds that I've been playing. So I'll show it. So this is the firebug I plan on using. Again, it's just another stolen one, as some of them are. That's the test concept. Here, Stay Spider, Hadron I've been using a lot, Hadron King, really good for tearing down spiders as well, just shitting its dogs. Sometimes if you don't have this one, with the normal one without the days, it's a lot better, because obviously you can have Verify for a bug, you got Cloak, you have more power, because you don't have to run the Hot Red. And yeah, as well, for people who can't afford a lot, you can use Mammoth Spiders, they're also just as good. There's a lot of the top weapons in the game, I think completely viable. Give them a go. But yeah, this is some of the stuff I'm using. And I plan on using the firebugs. As you can see, I got 50k, so I do plan on getting a couple of the bugs soon myself. But yeah, see you guys. Have a good day.